Your existence wasn't designed for attention, it was meant for essential purpose. Hold on right there. I realize your initial reaction. You assume I am urging you to retreat, diminish your presence, or embrace a false modesty that feels spiritual yet leaves you paralyzed. That is completely inaccurate. Here is the actual truth. Society craves constant exposure, yet genuine mastery grows in solitude. If achieving greatness is your ambition, quiet your voice and execute your vision. If becoming formidable is your target, cease broadcasting your intentions and start executing in absolute darkness, where no crowd gathers, no applause sounds, and no outside confirmation fuels your drive. Internalize the single principle to transform your trajectory. The individual who poses the highest risk in any environment is never the loudest speaker, but the quietest observer. It is the person laying foundations while everyone else trades words. It is the individual mastering skills while others seek amusement. It is the strategist conditioning in private for an inevitable public execution. Empty noise belongs to the insecure. Structured stillness is the workshop of the disciplined. Countless individuals shatter their own trajectory by revealing their blueprints prematurely. Concepts perish within comment threads. Incredible capacity gets dismantled across digital platforms simply because individuals prioritize digital approval over internal evolution. Consider this harsh reality. When you disclose your ambitions to those unwilling to endure the hardship you accept, you adopt their limitations into your own reality. You invite their skepticism, anxiety, envy, and doubt into your space. Not every individual possesses the qualification to influence your trajectory. The majority cannot even stabilize their present circumstances. Therefore, adopt this primary mandate: protect your evolution as though your life depends upon it, because it ultimately does. Consider a mother carrying new life. She does not proclaim it on the very first day. She pauses. Why? She recognizes that early development remains delicate. She safeguards the internal growth, remaining hyper-vigilant regarding her environment, consumption, and associations. She understands that the emerging life carries far more significance than the announcement. Your goals follow the exact same law. They represent seeds. Seeds never flourish on the top layer where foot traffic can crush them. Seeds germinate underground, buried in soil, hidden in places where profound evolution occurs without an observing audience. The flaw of current culture lies in the belief that an unposted event never occurred, an unshared moment lacks value, and an uncelebrated win is not legitimate progress. That deception keeps you shallow, fragmented, and addicted to the praise of onlookers who will forget your existence by tomorrow. You do not require their confirmation. You do not need their endorsement. Your true necessities are strict discipline, sharp concentration, and the grit to labor in obscurity while laying foundations for future prominence. This is not a call for submissiveness. True restraint is never weakness, nor is it the suppression of talent. Restraint is understanding the root of your capability and refusing to trade it for cheap attention. Separate confidence from vanity. Confidence asserts, I understand my capability, and proving it to you is unnecessary. Vanity pleads, I need you to acknowledge me because I lack internal certainty. Observe the predatory behavior of a big cat in the wild. It never announces its approach or unleashes a roar prior to the strike. It glides noiselessly, calculatedly, and patiently. The roar follows victory, never preceding it. Contrast that with a restless dog barking at every passing breeze, mail carrier, or shadow. Pure noise devoid of authority, announcement lacking power. Do not act like the barker. Act like the hunter. Execute in quiet, prevail in quiet, construct in quiet. Here is where misunderstanding arises. Strategic quietness does not equate to complete isolation. Constructing privately does not prevent you from utilizing advisors, structural accountability, or backing. The key is extreme selectivity and clear intent. Present your concepts exclusively to individuals who possess the capacity to enhance them rather than erode them. Unfold your architectural plans to structural builders, not passive critics. Reveal your long-term vision to visionaries, not casual observers. Understand the difference between seeking expert counsel and receiving passive commentary. Counsel sharpens your edge, commentary merely distracts your focus. This leads to rule number 2. Terminate the habit of seeking validation from individuals who lack comprehension of your specific mission. You were engineered by a creator who embedded precise tools, capacities, and capabilities within your makeup. Your existence is neither random nor accidental. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding your origin, an overriding purpose demanded your presence. That purpose constitutes your direct assignment. Assignments are distinct, customized, and non-interchangeable. The objective assigned to you cannot be executed by any other human in your exact manner. Your physical print, genetic sequence, expression, and worldview remain entirely unique across history. Why continue seeking authorization from bystanders who are not even walking your path? Brilliant individuals waste decades waiting for someone to declare them ready, hand them an opportunity, or unlock a gateway. In reality, they possess the exact tools required to build their own access, yet they remain busy knocking on external doors. Accept this uncomfortable truth. If you are waiting for external authorization, you are operating far below your capability. If you require approval to begin, you lack the stamina to complete the course. If you need someone else to hold faith in you before you believe in yourself, you guarantee your own failure. Do not misinterpret this as a rejection of mentorship or learning from those who paved the way. Honoring those who paid the price is vital. However, a massive divide exists between learning from someone and placing limits on yourself, or between respecting wisdom and discarding your own judgment. You can gain knowledge from a guide without becoming an exact clone. You can respect their path without abandoning your own journey. Excessive permission-seeking leads directly to self-censorship. You begin second-guessing your instincts and diluting your core message to make it palatable for people who were never meant to receive it. Eventually, you alter your nature so radically to fit their expectations that your core identity disappears, leaving behind a version acceptable to others, but completely disconnected from your purpose. You were not constructed to blend into the background, you were designed to stand out. Standing out does not mean acting ostentatiously, it means stepping forward as your authentic self with absolute conviction, consistency, and strength. When you walk aligned with your true trajectory, announcements become unnecessary. People perceive the presence. When you operate in genuine capability, self-defense is obsolete. The results deliver the argument. Rule number 3 demands a shift that separates amateurs from true masters. Develop a passion for the daily labor, not merely the ultimate reward. Everyone desires the harvest, but few willingly till the earth. Everyone wants the victory title, but few voluntarily endure the training weight. Everyone craves the main stage, yet few embrace the grinding struggle. That explains why most quit. They fall in love with the fantasy of achievement while despising the intense labor real achievement demands. If you cannot find engagement in the day-to-day effort, you will collapse under the weight of eventual visibility. True success is not a singular event or isolated moment. It is a permanent lifestyle shaped by daily unseen choices. It is rising when exhaustion sets in, studying when energy drains, practicing through discouragement, and performing when zero spectators are watching. Public triumphs are manufactured in total privacy. Breakthrough moments on display were constructed in the dark basement of relentless effort. Recall moments of being financially drained, mentally broken, and frustrated, holding massive ambitions without capital, vision without resources, potential without tangible proof. Envy toward those who seem to secure easy victories while you struggled leads to the agonizing question, why is progress taking so long? Why do I remain stuck? The shift occurs when you realize that delay is not denial, waiting is not wasted time, and the grueling process is not a punishment but systematic conditioning. Current adversity is not designed to crush you, it is designed to build your structure. What appears to be a setback is a hidden setup. What seems like a dead end is merely a rerouting toward greater impact. Shift your mindset entirely. Stop viewing the conditioning process as a sentence to endure and begin viewing it as a privileged opportunity to evolve. Every trial imparts instruction. Every roadblock builds strength, and every closed door provides protection. You are not trapped, you are being prepared. You are not forgotten, you are being strategically positioned. Consider a seed buried in the earth. To an outside observer, burial looks like death and termination. The seed is enveloped by complete darkness, crushing pressure, and cold soil. Yet what transpires within that hidden dark space holds infinitely more value than what occurs in the open light. The outer shell ruptures, the internal form shifts, and roots begin expanding outward. Those deep roots anchor the structure so that when the tree rises, no storm can uproot it. You may currently occupy the seed phase. It feels uncomfortable, dark, and heavy, yet emerging prematurely will destroy your ultimate yield. Rushing the phase ruins the final outcome. The height you are destined to reach demands the exact depth of root system you are currently developing. Stop complaining about your current position and start extracting the lessons it offers. Stop fighting the process and start respecting its necessity. Time is not being wasted. You are being forged for a level of responsibility your past mindset could never sustain. Rule number 4, defend your mental clarity as your most irreplaceable asset. You cannot construct anything meaningful inside chaos, generate solutions amidst confusion, or expand in an atmosphere of perpetual noise, conflict, and distraction. The decisions regarding whom and what you permit into your personal sphere remain critical. Not every individual deserves access to your life. Not every conversation warrants your energy. Not every conflict demands your participation. Recognize this crucial reality: not every problem belongs to you. Not every battle requires your involvement, and not every argument is worth pursuing. Certain elements must be dropped, certain people permitted to walk away, and certain situations left to expire naturally. Your duty is not to fix, save, or convince everyone. Your responsibility is to manage your own trajectory, fiercely guard your peace, and allocate your focus with extreme discipline. Unrestricted accessibility destroys potential. Giving away too much energy to those who fail to value it leaves you drained, overwhelmed, and paralyzed. Setting firm boundaries is not selfish, it is essential preservation. Boundaries are protective gates, not defensive walls. You do not grant every stranger key access to your residence or financial assets, so why surrender your mental bandwidth, emotional state, and precious time to individuals who have not earned that right? Draining relationships, restrictive environments, and toxic dialogues actively erode your potential. Solitude is vastly superior to toxic companionship. Quietness is far better than destructive conversation. Mental peace outweighs temporary popularity. Even historical leaders limited deep access to a select few while serving the broader public, recognizing the necessity of retreating to recharge. Protect your mornings, shield your mental input, and remain ruthlessly selective regarding media, information, and influence. Everything allowed through your senses plants seeds that shape your trajectory. Disconnecting from individuals you care about can be difficult, but relationships that once provided value may now cause stagnation. People evolve at varied paces and move along differing trajectories. Loving someone from a distance while honoring past seasons without forcing dead connections is entirely acceptable. Let go of guilt and obligation, leverage wisdom to move forward. Outgrowing environments is not cruelty, it is survival and proper stewardship. Finally, rule number 5 unifies the entire framework: commit completely to becoming your authentic self rather than conforming to external expectations. The greatest tragedy is not biological death, but spending a lifetime impersonating someone else. The ultimate waste is succeeding at an objective you were never intended to pursue. You entered this world as an original entity, yet many depart as cheap duplicates, exhausting their existence attempting to fit external molds and satisfy outside demands. In doing so, they lose their core identity, forgetting their unique purpose. You are not obligated to fulfill anyone else's agenda, parental desires, peer expectations, or societal pressures. Your core task is discovering your true identity before the external world imposed its conditions. The true enemy of your destiny is not external opposition, but internal imitation. Copying another person's trajectory discards your own path and insults your inherent capability. The world requires your raw, unedited, authentic expression, operating with genuine power because it is fully aligned with truth. Aligning with your real identity eliminates artificial competition. You cease comparing and commence creating. You abandon imitation and begin innovating. You recognize that your specific lane is uniquely yours. Whether called to construct enterprises, cultivate families, lead movements, or develop people, your assignment carries distinct value. Difference is not a deficiency, it is intentional design. Stop apologizing for your uniqueness, shrinking to preserve others' comfort, or dimming your drive to soothe another's insecurity. True humility is not self-sabotage or cowardice. Commit so completely to your objective that distraction becomes impossible. Secure your identity so thoroughly that external criticism loses all leverage. This path will not be effortless, but its value is immense. Build yourself silently and systematically. Refine your capabilities in obscurity so that when your moment arrives, your foundation is unshakable. Execute the heavy labor in private so you can effortlessly carry the weight in public. The public audience sees only the final triumph, remaining blind to the unseen sacrifices, sleepless nights, rejections, and private struggles. That is immaterial. Applause does not sustain structure, private commitment does. Embrace these 5 fundamental mandates. Guard your process by keeping plans private. Eliminate the need for external permission and move with absolute certainty. Fall in love with the unglamorous daily execution. Protect your peace by cutting away friction and distraction. Commit fully to your authentic identity. Implementing these principles will inevitably alter your social circle. Some will misinterpret your focus as arrogance or coldness. Allow them their opinions. You are building for a long-term future. Facing isolation or doubt is temporary conditioning for greater strength. Every obstacle is preparing you for the platform ahead. You were not created to blend in, follow passively, or remain average. Build yourself with quiet intensity, strategic focus, and absolute discipline. Labor while others sleep, study while others distract themselves, condition while others celebrate, and invest while others consume. In due time, your results will manifest with undeniable force, making public statements completely unnecessary. Execute silently, build continuously, and let your ultimate outcome speak for itself.